Hi, welcome viewers to today's Take 10. Today's guest on Take 10 is Andy Truong of the Fellows House in Cambridge. Welcome, Andy.
Thank
A
you.
little bit about Take 10 for anybody who's not seen one of these podcasts so far. Take 10's a short podcast designed to be 10 minutes to give a snapshot of the person behind the official profile. We've all seen the LinkedIn profiles and what have you. The purpose is to act as an icebreaker to encourage communication and business. If you feel you know a little bit more about the person, it eases communication. So initially, I'd like to hand over to you, Andy, and thank you for agreeing to subject yourself to this. To introduce yourself before we run into the icebreaker questions. Over to you.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for having time to do this. So my name is Andy Truong. I'm from the Fellows House in Cambridge. And essentially, I've been in the hotel industry for approximately 14 years, but mainly in the operations side. So I'm used to looking after restaurants, bars, weddings, conference events, and it's kind of grown from there to go into the sales role that I'm in today. And being in this position here for now about almost a year, so it's quite nice to be able to meet people and showcase and meet agents and other suppliers and understand what they're able to provide. It's my first time being into an apartment style hotel because working with the Hilton brands, because the Fellows House is also Curio by Hilton. So it's nice to still be within that family and that group. But we are slightly different to be able to provide that apartment style. So we've got studios, we've got apartments, we've also got duplexes at the hotel. So it's wonderful to be able to provide different styles of rooms and completely different to what I'm used to.
Interesting. I didn't know the background in the hotel sector there. So yeah, very interesting to hear more about that. But anyway, before that, let's get started on the questions. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, finally.
Okay, so let's start with some of these icebreaker questions. Poor and happy or rich and miserable? That's a difficult one to start with,
Oh.
perhaps, but poor and happy or rich and miserable. And by the way, I'm poor and miserable, so you can interact. You can.
I'm a firm believer of you live within your means, and you know I guess be happy. And if you have a richer lifestyle because you're happier, I think that's going to be the better way forward. I'd rather be, I guess, poor and happy, but again, I live within your means. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, exactly, and you kind of like you live to work, you don't work to live as such. I think that most people would say that, and so yeah, who would want to be miserable? Yeah, I've achieved it. I know. So yeah, um, are you one who shares food or not? Does not share food? Often we'll get a
Ah,
takeaway with several people around the table, and then
yeah.
people are talking about sharing it. What's that about?
This is the thing because I come from a Asian background. So my parents are Chinese Vietnamese, and so we're used to doing family style food. So you've got a large portion across the table. Everyone then shares it. So I'm used to that. And so there'll be the odd occasion when you eat out and someone's like, "Oh no, that's my portion." However, I think to be able to allow someone else to try their food and say, "Oh, that's amazing," I think it works well for me. And yeah, I'm just used to cooking large portions, which then allows everyone to share. So yeah.
It is a good point though, because it's not necessarily a personal thing, is it? It can be, it's cultural as well. You're quite right. Never even thought of it like that. I do always think about. I think it was in Gavin and Stacey where one of the characters there said, why would I want to share? I bought that. I got that because I wanted to eat it, kind of thing. But no,
Mhm.
it's cultural things. Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, 50s music or 80s music, or do neither of them apply?
Oh goodness. I think because I'm very open-minded with all kinds of music, so I think different occasion, different music, and I was speaking to my friend about this fairly recently, actually, that you usually associate with music to a particular time of whether it's your personal or work life or a certain time. So you associate it to that period. Yes, it's different era of music, but whatever the period, happiness and whatever it may be, you'll use that in that particular time in your life. So I think a bit of everything. I appreciate music. I like background music as well because sometimes there's a bit of silence, but then it's nice to hear something in the background. So yeah, a bit of everything. How about yourself?
Bit of everything. Yeah, for me, excuse me. And I was on a beach recently, and there was a fellow that started playing an acoustic guitar behind me. And so afterwards, I said, I really enjoyed listening to that. What was it? And he said, it's a bossa nova. And so I'm doing Alexa bossa nova now. So I just can't. I really like it, kind of like relaxing guitar music. But
Yeah.
like you say, for every occasion, perhaps different music. If you're driving the car, you might not want to listen to that.
Yeah.
USB backup or cloud storage?
Oh, that's difficult. It depends how secure. I mean, nowadays it's better. Cloud-based is good because then you can upgrade that to whatever size you want it to be. With USB, it tends to be more personal, but then the risk of damage, corruption. I happen to work in a bit of IT before as well, so when I'm used to helping extract hard drives that are old and going, it's something when you get personal things on there, you might have photos of family and whatnot, and it could get lost. And unfortunately, it has happened before. And when you're trying to back something up and then something interrupts it halfway, you've lost it. So cloud-based, I think nowadays is better. I think the only downside to it is that there is a subscription that you need to pay. I think there are a lot of things that are subscription-based nowadays. But yeah, cloud is the way forward, though.
I tell you, I'm by nature paranoid, and I spiral between, will I lose the hard drive or will the cloud disappear? I'll do both then. It can be mad. I've recently started Google Cloud, but yeah, it's not
You can
good if
get
you're paranoid.
you can almost get one of those personal servers where you get a hard drive connected onto your network. So at least that way it's a hard drive within your network. So it's kind of a hybrid. So that could work as well. And then you can still access it from your phone whilst it's still physical hard drive copy. Yeah.
Don't dare give me a third option. To be paranoid and taking all the options. No, it's got even worse. Oh dear. No, but yeah, it's certainly good to back up one way or the other. Last question: logic or emotion? Are you a logical person or emotional? Excuse me.
Gosh. I have a bit of both, but of course you have your emotional mindset first. But as long as you can I guess control it in a way that you start thinking, actually, is this the right way of responding? Is it happiness? Is it sad? Is it in a way that it goes? I think what would typically happen is that my emotion will come first, and then logically speaking, I'll be like, okay, I need to assess everything before going forward. And so yeah, more logical thinking, and then I would always give my opinion after that, because then I can always analyze it and then say to them, this is why I thought about it that way. So yeah, that's my mindset.
Yeah, a bit of both, is useful, that's for sure. I think that I start with the logic and then finish with the emotion, wondering whether the logic has actually been right, and terrifying myself on the prospect, and another sleepless night.
No.
No, that's great. Thanks, Andy. So yeah, I certainly think that I've feel I know more about you. Would you like to tell the viewers a little bit more about Fellows House, perhaps?
Of course, of course. So the Fellows House, we're based in Cambridge, north side of Cambridge. We are 5 minutes away from the town centre, very close to the river, so the River Cam. So a lot of people that come to Cambridge, we've got the colleges, the university. People often come for the punts as well. So when you have the opportunity, come and give that a go. They do have chauffeured punts if you're not too brave to do it yourself. So we have that in the city, and we're so close to it. Now, in terms of the product, what we have, we're a 163 bedroom hotel, 90% of which are studios and apartments. And they are essentially king size beds. All of them are king size beds that we have like this, and they have kitchenettes available as well in the room. So it is a fairly good and new product. We're about 3 years old as a hotel, and as Cambridge is in somewhat ways challenging like London with parking, we also have parking at the hotel. We have underground secure parking spaces, 74 of those units, and we have EV charging points as well. So that's what we have. We also have family interconnecting rooms that will always connect into a kitchenette unit as well. And also, of course, accessible rooms, which are the true wet rooms. I've been in some hotels where they're accessible rooms, they have low profile baths, but actually ours is the true wet room where you have that curtain that you pull across as well. So it is purpose built because it's not after refurbishment, it is built from scratch. So we also have things such as the leisure facilities. We have a 10-meter swimming pool, sauna, steam room, and we have then the gym facilities as well. So yeah, it's a pretty all-round product. We do all kinds of service from breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, as well as dinner. And we do cater to a lot of dietary. So we have an in-house pastry team, in-house chefs that can do a lot of things. So we're now part of a website called Happy Cow, which is more for vegan options. So we are on there for Cambridge because the chefs are able to do amazing plant-based food as well as the standard food that we have for a la carte. So we do comply with a lot of I guess, dietaries as well as sustainability. So we do have, as mentioned, the EV charging points. We do, with our food sourcing, we try to minimize wastage. We do, of course, the standard recycling process, but also our aircon units are sustainable as well. So they will only work when someone is in the room. And of course, the days are gone where you can't just leave it on and leave the room for it to be very, very cold by the time you get back. So we're all about sustainability, as well as doing community work as well, because the hotel used to be part of, used to be actually Milton Primary School back in the days. So we're built on that ground. So there's a lot of community development that we do for them. So we do events across the month. So during half term, we do things, kids crafting events. So we've got Easter coming up, for example. So we're going to be doing an Easter egg hunt for the community in the hotel, as well as our courtyard space. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. We do lots of things there. Yeah, it's nice to be able to provide standard hotel rooms as well as apartment styles. So we can provide all the transient bookings as well as long stay and group bookings as well. And being 5 minutes away from the town centre, we're I guess reasonably priced in comparison to the ones in the town centre. So yeah, all the more reason for people to use us.
Absolutely. How many apartment units do you have again, please?
So we have 163 units, of which 31 of them are standard bedrooms. So that will bring it to 132 units, which are the studios and apartments.
Wow. Okay, I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Because way back, I did stay at the hotel. An amazing location. I think Riverside, isn't it? I think so. And just like you say, convenient, 5 minutes from the town centre, city centre.
Yeah.
Really quaint as well. I seem to recall in that area.
Yeah.
So it's a real feel for Cambridge, an ideal corporate and leisure, isn't it? So,
yeah. So we're very close to Cambridge North Station. We are accessible by the bus route is literally on our door front. We also have cycle paths as well. So we do have, any guest staying with us, we have 14 bikes which will allow our guests to use for free, so they can use the real true Cambridge experience of going on the bikes and exploring Cambridge. So yeah, we have that available to our guests.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, fantastic. Oh, that's really interesting. So, Andy, thanks very much for agreeing to subject yourself to the icebreaker questions. That's really appreciated, and appreciated also the extra information on the fellow's house. So, I'm sure that the viewers have enjoyed that, and I certainly have. So thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
And we'll no doubt hopefully be seeing you shortly.
Yes, I'll be in the next events, and hope to see everyone soon.
Yeah, wonderful. See you, Andy.
Okay. Thank you.